Well, it's August 2nd, definitely the dog days of summer. Highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s, high 70s if we're lucky. And we're out on one of many lakes in the East Texas area around where I live. I've got so many different lakes to choose from. Super blessed in that. They're all within 30, 45 minutes to an hour, and even outwards of that, hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. But this one's about 40 minutes from my house. It's Lake Winsboro. Gonna go out here and fish till about noon before it gets stifling hot, then go back and maybe watch a little of CrossFit games that's going on in Wisconsin. A big fan of CrossFit, even though I'm not a CrossFit gym enthusiast, but I do like it. But we're out on the Winsboro. We've got some cloudy skies, which is really nice. Going to cut down on some of the bright sun that's associated with the hot summer days. I've got some bait that's high on the water column. I'm looking around on the graph, but also seeing some flickering around the surface. Going to try a lot of different things and see what we can catch. I haven't been here probably 15, 16 years. So it's like going to the lake for the very first time, except I've seen it before. So here we go, see what we can catch, and hopefully we can catch a big bag and have a lot of fun. By the way, I've got my son Daniel with me. See, like there's a stump right there, and there's another stump right there. Sorry to bug you. Do you know, it's been years since I've been here. I see all the timber out in the middle. Is there a way to run the lake without hitting anything?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Oh, you've never been here?
I've been here once, but I don't know how to run it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to run it either, so I was just, I thought I'd just double back. Thanks.
Good to see you.
You too. So one of the things that's probably really smart to do before you go to a lake that you've never been to before, or been years since you've been there, is check and see where it is safe to run. Maybe do some map research or something like that. Ask around, maybe ask a fishing buddy or somebody that you may know. We didn't do that, and I thought it was pretty safe to run, but I'm looking out across the middle of it and I'm seeing just some timber out there. So most of your East Texas lakes do have timber in them, and I definitely don't want to hit anything, obviously, and definitely don't want to put myself or my son in danger. So I'm gonna take it easy a little bit here as we try to move around. Good thing it's not a very big lake. I forgot to mention that my Navionics doesn't have any depth ranges or any kind of topographical features on it. It's just a blue drawing or outline of the lake, so really don't even know if there's offshore structure, just trying to figure it all out. Let's go fishing. You can see with my graph that there is no topography and no depth lines, nothing to let you know what's out there on the water. Skip a little jig under docks. Kind of like the looks of this lake. $100 to the guy that catches the first one. Like always, standard bet. Just kidding. I'd like to start by covering a lot of water, throwing a lot of power fishing techniques, baits, different things like that. I kind of do that everywhere, but I really rely more heavily on that in these types of situations. Kind of sample a lot of different areas to get a feel for what the lake has. So much of the lake that there's really nothing going on, so you really need to kind of find that zone of activity, which is generally somewhere. You just have to find it. Water looks pretty clear, but it looks pretty stained, but I actually think it's more clear than it looks. I think it's just partly the overcast and low lights conditions we have right now that make it look like it's dirty, or make it look like it has more stain. One of the more interesting things about bass fishing in different lakes is different lakes have different personalities. Some lakes right through the summer, the fish will really like a jig. Then others really like a Texas rig worm. So, and then others are much more of a crankbait lake. Just trying to find out what that preference is or what that bent is on these fish is always a kind of a challenge. And I always like trying to figure that out. It's a lot of fun for me. And sometimes some lakes are just, they really don't have a bent. They just, one day they like one thing and one day they like the next. Throw your crankbait around that tree. Don't worry about getting hung up. You got one. Nice. There's our first fish. Nice. Oh wow, you got it on the outside. So he swiped at it. We can definitely tell. You got him really good. Good job, big guy. The old cranking bait. Slap me some skin, or give me some knuckles, whatever you want to call it. Daniel strikes first blood on a 1.5 on a little kind of a primary point right there. Oh, and I just had one blow up on my popping perch. I don't know how he didn't get it. Little activity right here. Oh, he boiled up underneath it again. Yeah, I see there's a bunch of shad right here. How did he miss my popping perch? A lot of shad on the surface right here. And I'm graphing it on the graph. Looks like there's balls of shad throughout this whole area here. There we go. Little guy off that piece of brush right there. He felt better, but look at him. Check him out. He's definitely been eating right. Probably a chance of another one being right there. Also on a 1.5. There we go. Nice. Right off that piece of wood. Little better one there. There's quite a bit of bait in this little pocket here. Or actually on this point, I should say. Got one of these naturalistic shad pattern KVD 1.5s. That's a good chunker. Definitely some bass working bait on this point. I love a good square bill bite. So we made 2 casts and caught 3. 2 that were keepers. Ooh, I had something there. Either he slashed at it or I ran into a piece of wood. Ooh, there's some fish blowing up on bait up there. Right along that retaining wall. Switch to the 1.0. A little bit better one. I switched over to the sexy blueback herring 1.0 because the bait's so small. So much bait fish, I switched up to a rage swimmer with a flashy swimmer hook harness made by owner, and was able to catch one right up there where they've been blowing up. Pretty cool that worked. Gonna catch one right here, Bo. There. It's not a very big one, but these guys are the ones that want to hook you bad. I like throwing square bills on docks, dude. It's fun. There we go. Not very big, but we're getting some consistent action. Bigger one? Nice.
Get him perfectly to the jaw.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them little guys around here. Oh, dude, I got drilled. Gosh. And I fully saw him in the water too. He looked like a good one. I don't know how I missed him. Got him? Little shad guy, little shaddy fish. Just chasing the shad on the back of this little point. Dude, there's dead shad on the surface right here. Throughout the South, August can be a real difficult time to catch them. I mean, we've got water temperature that's 90.5 degrees here, and the bait is really high in the water column and in mid-range, but really just kind of not relating to much except the push of where the bass want them to go, or wherever they push them and pursue them, then they actually move around like that. But a lot of them are just out in the middle of the lake. You'll see fish schooling, and really there's no way to really pinpoint them. Seems like this time of year that offshore bite gets difficult, and especially on a lake like this with no actual contour lines on the Navionics mapping, because it's such a small lake, it's difficult to really, in a short amount of time. I mean, we got on the water around 7:30, and we're going to get off the water here, it's around noon, so it makes it difficult to spend any kind of time offshore fishing deeper and looking for brush piles, which would be a great alternative to this. So that was a pretty quick fishing trip. Was able to get out and catch a few fish, nothing really big. Generally, August into September, the tournament weights are going to go down all across the South. It's just a general thing that happens. Trying to catch a kicker or a big one, or get a a quality limit is definitely not the norm. And a lot of weigh-in results, most of the weights are, it's going to be top heavy one or two places, and then it's going to drop off pretty quick. Not trying to make any excuses, but that's just kind of what you expect. It's just a fact of living in the South, living in Texas, and anywhere from Florida all the way through. The water gets 90 degrees like this. It really makes it difficult to get those bigger fish to bite, and I think a lot of them just suspend. So, had fun with my son. Got out here, caught a few fish. Wish we could have caught some more bigger ones. I think he caught biggest of the day. The 1.5, the striking 1.5 and 1.0 caught all the good ones today. We caught a handful of just little ones, but just had a good time. Just appreciate you watching my channel. Hope you like it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. Thank you.